Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi
Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Please raise your arms very high. The names of Shri Shri Radhanath, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mike. Maharaj, thank you so much for coming and gracing us this evening with such ecstatic talk and Kirtan. And we are indebted from the bottom of our heart. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Haribol.
Haribol.
Maharaj ki
Jai.
Anyone like to ask any questions? Since we have this wireless microphone, we should not underestimate its value.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I'm your biggest fan. That's what I want to believe. I've been listening to you for 2 years now, every day. I stumbled upon your YouTube video, and that's how I came to ISKCON. You are the reason I chant and read, and I try to associate more and more with the Guru.
Sounds like a stumble.
It was.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Each of your lecture is very instructive. But what is that one thing I can do if I want to go back to Godhead?
Love Krishna. That's the only thing. But how to love Krishna? To associate with the Lord's devotees. And to take shelter of Krishna by chanting his holy names, by hearing about him, and by striving to really live with the character that the great souls exemplify. Somebody asked Lord Chaitanya, what is the one thing I can do? He gave 2 things. Always chant the holy names and do not criticize others. And he said, if you do that carefully, I will take you back to God. But to do that, you have to follow regulated principles. To do that appropriately. And yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribol Prabhu.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Lord Rishikesh Prabhupada. I had a question. We were talking about Lord Balaram today, and
Take your mask off and then we can hear you so without filtration.
my question was, we talked about Lord Balaram, and Balaram is the epitome of the mood of service. He always wants to serve. So how do we develop that mood so that we can serve other devotees in the Lord properly?
Prabhupada described that the goal and the means to achieve the goal are the same. We can actually approach the goal, pure devotional service, by serving and cultivating pure devotional service. situation we're in right now, we make pleasing Krishna through our service our goal. And then we apply Krishna's teachings in such a way that we move toward that goal in every situation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for.
If I can go back to your question, I'll give you an answer, Srila Prabhupada. What is the one thing we can do? Listen, practice Krishna consciousness sincerely. That is really the one instruction that he emphasized. Yes.
Thank you, Swami. Thank you for the opportunity to. Maharaj, my question is about intentions. And sometimes when we do try to do things in the good intention or best of intentions, it may be misunderstood or even criticized by others. Whether we do something or don't do something, with the best of intentions, the act of our doing or not doing is misunderstood or criticized by others. Even in Ramayana, we see Lakshman facing the wrath of both Mata Sita and Lord Ram when he went when Marichi called. So how do we face this, Maharaj? When our intentions, even though we act with a good intention, it's misunderstood or criticized. Any advice you would give?
Honor, dishonor, praise, blame are inevitable in this world. We are not attached or detached. We're not attached or repulsed by either one. Our aim is to please Krishna. If we're sincerely following Krishna's teachings, as our gurus and the senior Vaishnavas are teaching us, then we tolerate everything and we carry on with enthusiasm. Can you think of any devotee, even the greatest avatars, who were not criticized? Prahlad Maharaj was criticized. Narada Muni was cursed quite aggressively. Shishupal was finding faults in Krishna. Ravana. Now we find faults in Ram. Srila Prabhupada was accused of ruining the lives and brainwashing people. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, people actually paid dacoits to kill him. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, some of the Brahmins in Navadvip were actually going to beat him. They were blaspheming him. So many people created dacoits who attacked Nityananda to kill him. Can you think of anyone? Narottam Das Tagore, so many people blaspheming and criticizing him. We just have to make sure that we really are speaking, living in harmony with what will please our Guru and Krishna. That is our intention, and we are sincerely, earnestly trying to harmonize our words and actions with that intention. And let the world say what they say. Just 2 days ago, I listened to a lecture of Srila Prabhupada. He was talking, Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplaces with the intention to kill him. And yet he never found faults. He was just praising the Lord, chanting Krishna's names, begging and praying for others to take Krishna's mercy. And then Srila Prabhupada said, in Jesus Christ, he said, Lord Jesus Christ, what was his fault? He said that 3 times. What was his fault? And yet they tried to kill him. Prabhupada said, a devotee understands that practicing Krishna consciousness doesn't mean everyone's going to like you. Because in this world, if you're not a devotee, people are not going to like you. And if you are a devotee, people are going to not like you. The question is, does Krishna like you? Krishna loves us, but does he like what we're doing? Does he like our intentions, words, and actions? Yes, Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada, and that's why Krishna gives us this system of Guru Parampara, so that it's not just a theoretical speculation what pleases Krishna. It's very clear what pleases Krishna. To study Srila Prabhupada's books, the Vaishnava literatures, we not only understand from Krishna what pleases him, but we understand from those who love him by their words and example what pleases him. So if we're sincere and honest, if we're confused about what we should do, we ask. We ask someone who's connected. We have had experiences in life when it seems everything in the world is against us. We close our eyes, touch one of Prabhupada's books. It's on the shelf, we don't know which one it's going to be. We open it and we touch a line, and yes, now I know what to do. To take shelter. And if people are criticizing us or misunderstanding us, that's part of the purification of bhakti. When Lord Chaitanya took sannyas, what was the verse that he recited and established as the principle of renunciation? It was the prayers of the Avanti Brahmin. Everyone was criticizing him. But he took shelter of the Paramatma and surrendered. Does that answer the question?
Yes, Gurunath. Thank you very much.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hello, Maharaj. Thank you very much for continuing the pastimes of Lord Balaram. Maharaj, one word that many times gets repeated in our conversation, and now also you repeated that word a couple of times. And many times devotees have asked this question to me, what does really this word means? And of course I have given answer to my understanding, but in my head I'm not clear what exactly this means. So what is the meaning of sincerity, and how do we know whether what we are doing is out of sincerity?
You're asking that question, is sincerity. There are various ways of approaching. It's a state of consciousness. Or Srila Prabhupada explains, without duplicity. Without duplicity. Or earnestly, honestly, trying our very best to please Guru and Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Kirtan, here.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Thank you for all wonderful Kirtan today. I wanted to ask, sometimes when we are not at the best version of ourselves, we act in a way which, bad behavior towards others, and we hurt others. While we apologize to make amends for that, but the bad behavior keeps haunting us because we are not at, we felt like we didn't meet our expectations, and it puts our energy level down, and we are not able to focus well on devotional service. So how do we make peace with the bad behavior that we have done in the past?
Sincerity. Does that answer your question? Please, Lord.
Don't say my friend.
But we have to be learning our lessons in life. That is part of sincerity. Without duplicity indicates we're not trying to present ourselves as great to inflate our ego before others. But our standard of life is actually how I can best please Guru and Krishna through our character, our choices, our sadhana, our service. And we do have shortcomings. We've been in this world for a long time with many conditionings. We don't justify our shortcomings, or let us say we do not justify our wrongdoings on the basis of being conditioned souls. Because if we do that, then we can't really progress. Human life is meant for tapasya, to really be striving for a higher state of Krishna consciousness. At the same time, we can't be overly depressed or critical of ourselves. We have to be forgiving of ourselves while we're honestly and earnestly or sincerely trying to purify ourselves and improve. want some people to just ignore their shortcomings so that they can think that they're great and trick other people to think that we're great. And for other people, our shortcomings really makes us very almost depressed and hopeless. Look what I've done, and look at all my mistakes. And both states are impediments. To accept what's favorable for devotional service and reject what's unfavorable. We have to be humble. Humble means we don't really feel we're worth trying to impress others. We're just trying to serve the best we can. We're not trying to hide from our own shortcomings, just to make ourselves feel like we're great and important. We're happy to accept that we're fallen souls. And we're striving with all of our strength, with all of our prayers, to live by the standards that we've been given. And where there's shortcomings, or where there's been mistakes, we're willing and able to forgive ourselves, knowing that we really are striving with the right character. We don't want to ignore our shortcomings to feed our ego, and we don't want to be defeated by our shortcomings. As Her Grace Jagarini Devi spoke yesterday, we should be happy practicing Krishna consciousness, even with all our shortcomings. If we're really trying to practice Krishna consciousness and applying these principles in our life, we should be happy doing that. But if we're arrogant, we're not going to be happy. And if we're depressed, we're not going to be happy. But if we're sincere, we can be happy. And even if we're not happy, if we're Krishna conscious, we can be happy. And the other ones, even in our unhappiness, if we're striving to please Krishna, and we understand that Guru and Krishna are pleased with us, we can be happy with that. Some of the happiest people I've ever seen in my life are on their deathbeds. Devotees. My beloved God brother Sridhar Maharaj. He was in so much, physical pain and everything. And I remember I was sitting at his bedside and he just smiled. He said, "Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice." That's quite deep realization. Is there one more question?
I just want to say, Maharaj, thank you so much for the past 2 days of such enriching and
overflow of mercy, compassion. Thank you so much for being such an example of purity, compassion, surrender to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for this wonderful family that we have here. Thank you so much, Maharaj. We love you so, so, so very much.
No, that was the end. When somebody says like that,
We still love you a lot, Maharaj.
she has humbled me to such an extent that I'm speechless. Thank you. Hari Hari.
Without with the harmony.
Go on the same frame boxes, like the icon box goes, the slide versus icon box. This holds it up to there's one more like this one. There's a box inside. You can take that and you can fill it up. Only mic. Mic and wire stuff. 6 icons. So there's like a mic one. And here is the
No doubt.